I took a bit of a peek and checked what parts of the zone I've already explored this run because it was at the very beginning of Against All Odds Season 7 that I was last here in Coastal Highway. And the truth is, I got out of here faster than average by necessity, but still much faster than average. So we're on our way to Desolation Point, but with plenty of loot checks along the way and plenty more loot to check on when we find our way back into Coastal Highway from Desolation Point. That was a long preamble. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of the Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. Yeah, I was shocked. I just finished checking, and I'm jumping back into recording here, and I am shocked. It's a lot, because I didn't actually watch with full commentary, so I can't say, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in the comments, and we'll piece it all together as a community, but, like, I can't say with any certainty, like, what my reasoning was. My memory tells me that I was near the top of the zone, I was low on supplies, and because it's the start of the run, and my best bet for getting more supplies... Yeah, see, there's so much that hasn't been searched here. My best bet was just to get out of the zone. So I did. That's what I did. Which is wild, because it means that most of this zone is completely unexplored for me. I do have a note of the areas where I have been, but even as we kind of point ourselves toward Desolation Point here, I know there are a number of locations that I haven't checked yet. And so I'm going to very thoroughly search Coastal Highway, because last time I was here, I didn't really have the gear to give myself confidence, give myself time, give myself, you know, the peace of mind that's required to really thoroughly search these areas. I had to get out. And now I'm back. And I want to see what this zone has to offer. And on top of that, there's what I discovered last episode, which is that you have to also bear in mind that whatever we find here that we didn't find the first time, because we didn't check, there has also been additional spawn-in of food-based resources, thanks to the cooking update as part of Tales from the Far territory. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I've been in that house back there, but I haven't been in the house up the hill, which I'm going to check on now. There's a slight possibility of a bear up here, so I want to be careful. And the overwhelming likelihood here is that this house up the hill is going to be burned out, which makes me sad. But overall, this is a very good position for me to find myself in. I have a lot of porridge in my inventory right now. Food-wise, I am completely good. I did get attacked by a wolf last episode. He kind of got the jump on me. He was charging by the time he detected me. By the time he detected me, he was already in charge range. So all of a sudden, the first thing I heard, if you don't count the footsteps that I did or did not hear prior to that, where I kind of felt like there was something nearby, but I wasn't sure. Well, hello. There's a deer. The first thing I heard was the wolf growling and sprinting at me. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. And by enjoyed, I mean I did not. Also, I'm going to poke my head up here real quick because there is something new. This was actually mentioned to me early in the series, and I had to very politely respond to the commentary. Hey, don't do that. I appreciate the thought, but I didn't know that was there. And now I will never have, this is why I mention these things and try to ask people not to. I'll never have the pleasure of discovering this on my own as a surprise. But this is new. And I wanted to check it out since I'm close to it. It gives you something else to do when that house is burned out, which it is in most high difficulty settings. Alright, nothing in the backpack. Unsurprising. I'm fairly certain this is here as part of Signal Void, which is one of the reasons I wanted to come up here. Oh, decent plaid shirt. Nice. Right, we can actually enter the vehicle, which is wild. Get in the front. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in here. It's just a neat new little plane crash, but I just want to make absolutely sure that I have picked up everything from the area that I could have, and that nothing is sticking out of the ground that's super obvious. Just want to triple check. Yeah, all right, so this is not... There's no radio here for me to pick up. But I was thinking maybe there would be. And maybe there would be some other supplies as well, but we are on a low loot table. So it makes perfect sense that there was nothing there. I'm going to kind of Skyrim my way down to this area here and hopefully not sprain. There we go. Okay. Desolation Point, here we come. I do have to keep an eye out for the woodland friends. But overall, I'm happy with the forward progress. So I haven't been over that way at all. I've been to that house. I think I've been to both houses. I fast-forwarded so quickly through the episode that I couldn't quite tell if I'd been to both island houses. But I know that I made my way towards one, and then I saw myself running from that one across the ice to the docks. So remember, there's still reason to go back because of the cooking update and all of those items spawning in the same way that we saw those items in the Quonset that weren't there before. So any place that I have explored, I can still go back to. All right, there's a prop deer there. That's good to know, especially because I don't see any other predators nearby. So I might take the opportunity to go ahead and grab the meat off that prop deer. Or at the very least, I'm going to move past it, kind of scope out the area, and look toward this area over here. Yeah, I don't see any houses still standing, which is pretty consistent with these settings. I don't know that that house that I just tried to check on a moment ago prior to checking on the new plane crash, or any of the houses over here, I don't know that any of them fully or properly... Oh, you know what? I'm still carrying a bunch of firewood, aren't I? I'm going to drop the books. I'll keep everything else.
Doesn't seem so crazy right now.
Oh, you're fine. Ooh. Soundtrack moment. Yeah, I just don't think those ever spawn. I don't think those houses ever appear in unburned form. Let's enjoy for a moment. See what I mean? All burned out. Music's not done yet. Can't miss a good chance to use that magnifying lens. That, as I've said many, many times over the years, is still my favorite ambient track from the game soundtrack. It is absolutely fantastic. I am actually going to chew through a few pieces of coal here just to get this fire nice and hot. I feel like it might be necessary. We are approaching the end of the day here, so I'm going to be spending the night in the transition zone, which is fine. That's one of the reasons I want to get this cooked, though. All right, so we have a maximum temperature fire, assuming no wind comes in. It's going to be pretty hard for a wind gust to blow this fire out. It's a good spot for a fire. Wasn't even fully intentional on my part, but I'll take it. Did I grab my cooking pan, by the way? I did. Good. All right, let's eat that venison. Of course, I still had food on me. It wasn't necessary for me to... That is a crappy torch. Let's try again. That is also a crappy torch. You can do better than this, fire. There we go. See, even that's not that good. But anyway. Let's head for the exit. I'm, of course, less encumbered now than I was a moment ago, which is nice. But yeah, we're going to be spending the night in the transition zone here, and then headed to Desolation Point. It's a shame there's not more to explore over here, but, yep. I mean, I could check the mailboxes, but on these loot tables, the chances that there's something useful in those mailboxes that's like... I mean, I suppose there's a slight chance of like a candy bar. So maybe I'll look on the way back through, because I have to pass by here anyway, on the way back from Desolation Point, but I had deer meat. I'm happy. One thing I didn't comment on, but that I'll comment on now. Oh, there might be another prop deer here. See those crows? There might be another prop deer. One thing I didn't comment on, though, is that it wasn't a full steak. Did you see that? It was 1.9 pounds as opposed to 2.2, which makes me immensely sad. Well, not immensely. It would have made me immensely sad if I was counting on that meat to, like, avoid well-fed, or losing well-fed or something. And look at that sunset. This game. Yep, that's another prop deer. Nice. I'll save that for my trip back through, and we are going to take a moment to enjoy this amazing view. No hostile wildlife in sight. Beautiful coastal highway sunset. And on our way now to a zone that will hopefully have a good amount of loot. I see a book. You see it? I see it. It's not one that's going to be very useful to me, though. It's a frontier shooting guide. So I might grab that for...
Can't be far behind.
fire starting purposes in a moment, but I don't think I need anything otherwise. Okay. And away we go. I will need to be careful here. But all I need to do is get to the basement. I have a place to sleep. Always a little bit dodgy coming into Desolation Point earlier when you don't have a bedroll yet on high difficulty, because this transition zone doesn't give you a guaranteed place to sleep. Which is kind of rude when you think about it, but that's an aspect of the challenge of this game that we all love as much as we do. Alright, so last time, one of the last times I came this way, not in this run, but in one of the Against All Challenges series, there was a wolf right here, and I had to double back immediately. But I actually am armed at this point. I think I hear a wolf eating, though. Could be having a meal nearby. But I'm close enough now I can probably sprint in past anything. Unless the wolf were right in front of me, then I'd have a problem. Okay, I think I'm home free. Maybe. Let me not celebrate just yet. Alright, gonna step over here. There we go. Not bad at all. Alright. Lots of foliage here. Hard to tell if there's anything on the ground, stick-wise, bunny-wise. It's okay, though, because I just need to find my way back to the basement. I'll check that car once I have a little bit more confidence there's not a wolf in the area. Okay, there's not. I don't think. And here's the basement, so I know where to run to. Check trunk. Nothing. I think I just heard a ptarmigan. Ptarmigan in the transition zone? Really? Oh, hello. Okay, I would love to read that, but I'm about to lose my torch. I'll probably still lose my torch. Too late. Yep, lost it. Okay. Into the basement. Now, chances are good there's at least something here worth taking. It's so nice to be moving through this transition zone, excuse me. And I feel like I actually have gear. Again, it can be very stressful moving through here in the early run, because you really have to keep moving. There's a pry bar. That's nice.
Handy.
I might change out pry bars here. All right, bandage. I'll take it. Hockey jersey. How about that? So the hockey jersey is a bit of an interesting item. I think I found one earlier in the series. This is an inner layer item. Okay? That has high wind protection. So you'd wear it here, like if you didn't have a coat to wear, which is interesting. But now that I have a coat to wear, it's actually not as useful to me. So I am going to drop it on the ground. Sad to say. Let's put that bedroll down. And now I'm going to take a look at what I have to eat. Drink some water. Probably okay food-wise. I can have some porridge. That's 438 calories each. Might as well have another one, because that's not the lightest food in the world, weight-wise, in terms of carrying it around. So I now am going to pass time for about, I hate it, but I'm going to do 5 hours. I'm going to do a full, oh, hello. There's no point in going outside in this. I wish I was still in Coastal Highway, though, because I could go to the mine. A little bit too far now. It's kind of hilarious that it gives us an aurora at this point. That's cute, game. That's real cute. Thank you for that. I appreciate you so much. Alright, let's eat this porridge, and that's the last of that. And now I'm sad because we're back to having no... Okay, let's go ahead and go to sleep so that there's no blinking lights, because that's pretty rough. We're going to sleep for as long as we can. Sorry, I got out of there as fast as I could. I'm not sensitive to it, but some of you might be. That was very, very blinky, even more so than is typical. Just the way the lights in that particular space are configured. Okay, so now we've woken up. We've recovered a lot of condition. It's morning. Let's take a quick look at the clothes that I'm carrying. I think I will go ahead and harvest a few of these items, because we need to pass a little bit of time. It's the beginning of the day. It's going to be super cold. It's going to be super cold. That's just a fact of life. Okay, am I carrying anything else that I can drop? Yeah, I have the extra pry bar. That's not necessary. I have the Frontier Shooting Guide that I really, truth be told, do not need. I have some extra cans. That's a pound worth right there. I'm still carrying this coal and a decent amount of extra cloth. I have some sticks that I do not need. So let me drop those, and that's most of my encumbrance. Man, that poor fire striker. I hope I find a replacement for it, but I'm not optimistic. All right, I'm going to drop one. You know what? Let's drop all the reclaimed wood. I'm good. I'm going to be able to find things to start fires with, so I'd rather just not be encumbered and have more normal calorie consumption rates. Okay, so I picked up my bedroll. Let's keep moving. Beginning of a day, and it sounds pretty nice outside. Okay. I think there are ptarmigan here somewhere. I'm going to hug this wall to avoid the wildlife. There could be a prop deer up here. Sometimes there is. There's definitely a cave regardless, and there could be some stuff in the cave, so we'll check. It is surreal to be getting to Desolation Point for the first time this late in a run, but I just ran the other way. And it's a testament to how much...
Come in handy.
Really? Don't I already have level 5 carcass harvesting, or do I actually? I do. So I don't need that book per se. I can probably drop it. But yeah, it's a testament to how large the world of the Long Dark has gotten over the years. It's just expanded and expanded, and there's more and more. And there's still more coming. There's another zone right around the corner. Oh, hello. Hello, immediate weather change. That's slightly disconcerting. Oh, hello. That's a wolf. Right in front of me. Through the trees. Hang on. I've been needing to do this for a moment. I'm going to try and get past him. Pretty cold, but we're not far from the cave. I don't need to tangle with a wolf right now. My health is almost back to what it was prior to the previous wolf attack. I would love to continue regaining health. This is the most stable our survival situation has been in a long time. It's pretty much been stable since I left Ash Canyon with a few moments of panic. But Ash Canyon was, I think, the most pressing that I've been in survival-wise, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's on the far side of Timberwolf Mountain. It's perfectly sensible. And it was a zone that I'm not as familiar with. It's perfectly sensible that that was the place that gave me trouble, and it absolutely did, especially when I got stomped by a moose, which was rude. We can all agree. It was very, very rude. I feel like the wolf might be coming back towards me already, just because that's my luck.
Gotta warm up somehow.
Yeah, we're about to warm up when we get inside this cave. But I'm not going to make a break for the cave until I have a sense that the wolf is farther away. There's a lot of foliage in this transition zone. It makes it harder to be sure that you're safe. But I like it. A lot of very established Long Dark streamers the two that spring to mind are Athenon and Thomasina over on Twitch. Established streamers on Twitch will turn off this foliage setting because it enables, visibility of the things that matter. Foliage is purely cosmetic. It doesn't actually contribute to gameplay from a mechanical perspective. And I think that is what players who turn that off would say. That would be the argument. Like, I just want to be able to see the cattails. I want to be able to see, other things that I might be able to pick up quite easily. I would argue that it does contribute mechanically because the foliage is meant to conceal things. It's not purely cosmetic, in my opinion. It's meant to add to the challenge a little bit. But to each their own. Again, I play on custom runs all the time because I like to tweak things to my liking, so some people will actually turn off foliage as their custom setting.
I think I can use this.
Cotton scarf. I, however, rather like it. Okay, nothing here. Nothing otherwise. All right, let's get in the transition cave. I'm actually going to run a little bit because I'm pretty confident from this moment forward we're entering an area that this is going to be one of the most loot-dense areas we've visited in a while. I'm excited about this. Okay, here we go. I'm also kind of hopeful for some lantern fuel, but we'll see.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Okay, grab some more coal to replace the coal that I used in that fire. Nothing on the ground below those shelves or lockers. We're going to continue moving this way. Go underneath this
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
low-hanging collapse. I want to be careful how much of my lantern fuel I spend here. Okay, there's a couple of different ways I could go here. I'm just going to make sure there's nothing fancy over here. Usually not, but sometimes there is. I'll take the coal. That's enough for me. Nice. Nothing in the backpack. Already checked that. Nothing underneath the shelf. Nothing on the shelves. Nothing in the workbench. Nothing on the workbench. Nothing underneath it. Alright, let's keep moving. That's a surprisingly low amount of loot in that room. But there's still more. Alright, I am going to grab a lot of coal because there's a chance I'm going to be able to get some stuff done forge-wise in a moment. We haven't been on a forge run since the very beginning of the game. And I think this is going to be a clear opportunity. Not only to have an axe in better condition, but perhaps a new knife and definitely some more arrowheads. That's happening beyond a shadow of a doubt. The only thing, well, I take it back. It's not happening beyond a shadow of a doubt because I need a heavy hammer. If I don't have a heavy hammer, I'm going to have to wait until I get back to the Forlorn Muskeg Forge, which is where I left my last heavy hammer. And I've found a few since then, but I tend to, once I've found one, I'll leave it at a forge. And only if I know I'm going to another forge, like definitively, like I'm on the way, will I care about lugging around another heavy hammer. That's just the way I approach it. Because it's a frickin' heavy hammer. You know, you don't just want to wander around endlessly with those. Speaking of heaviness, I'm already carrying a ton of coal, and look how much it's slowing me down. Yeah, I'm 20 pounds over the encumbrance limit right now. But we're approaching Desolation Point, and I won't... The nice thing about this slow walk is that not only can I leave some of the coal in a few places...
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
and come back for it. But it's not a really long walk at this point. Let's put this away. All right, so nice. Okay, so it's foggy, which means from a temperature perspective, I'm in really good shape. Yeah, the likelihood that there's going to be a heavy hammer, just like here in Desolation Point, right when I could potentially do more stuff with the forge, is low. But I'm going to carry a good amount of coal just to be safe, to give it the benefit of the doubt, to cross my fingers and hope for the best. And we'll see how it goes. Had some very interesting run-ins with the Darkwalker in this zone this year. For those of you just returning to the channel and who haven't seen the beginning of the series or haven't seen earlier content just yet, maybe this is the first video you're catching. That's happened to a lot of people. Like, I've been making videos since January, but YouTube is going to YouTube, and videos don't always get pushed out even to subscribers who have turned on notifications, because that's life. So this is the first video you're seeing. In case you missed it, I did all of the challenges earlier this year, called it Against All Challenges. We still have the Hunted Part 3 once it comes out to add to Against All Challenges, but definitely did the Darkwalker for the first time ever, which was an adventure. Let me tell you. Okay, so there is a truck down to the left, but I'm actually going to veer, or sorry, down to the right, but I'm going to veer left here because I want to head straight towards the chapel, and that's where I'm going to drop some of this coal because I want to look for a heavy hammer, and then I can run and grab some of the coal once I've got more of the lay of the land. There is a possibility of a wolf between me and the chapel. It's pretty slim as chances go, but I do think that there's a possibility, so I need to be careful of that. Nice. Hollow tree. Good to know that it's here. I doubt that I'll have a use for it at this point in the run, but it's good to know that it's here. Yeah, I distinctly remember having a wolf howl at me from this ridge that I'm standing on right now. The church is just ahead. Oh wait, no it's not. The mine is below. The church is a little bit farther. Hang on, I think... Yeah. I do want to check the mine real quick, but then we'll go... So yeah, I stand corrected. It wasn't that ridge. It's a little bit farther, the ridge that I'm thinking of. It's that way. There could be a wolf that way. I need to be careful. See, the fog is ever disorienting. Now, I don't necessarily want to spend a ton of time in here. A locked locker is always a little bit more promising on this difficulty than an unlocked one, but in this case, no dice. Yeah, I kind of just want to like rest and keep going, you know? Alright, this is just a collapse. I'm picking up more coal, which is weighing me down even more. Coal is not the lightest thing, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I think I'm gonna warm up and keep going, or maybe not even warm up. Maybe I should just trust that I'm okay. Let me put the lantern away because I don't really need it. Yeah, that's almost 30 pounds of coal. I don't need that much coal. Let's go ahead and drop 20. I mean, I'll still have it here, but I'm gonna drop that so I can move a little faster in the next episode. I'm also gonna drop the field dressing book because I don't need it. I don't even need the Frontier Shooting Guide, to be honest. But I'm also going to stop this episode right here because it's a good stopping point. And in the next one, tell you what, let me just make a save point for the heck of it. And in the next one, I am going to pay a visit to the Riken, as well as check out the whaling station and kind of see what kind of loot that I can find. I think the next episode or two will hopefully be pretty exciting from a loot perspective, because I do think there's a likelihood that I'll have at least one more whetstone. And best case scenario, we find a heavy hammer and we can actually do a forge run here and make some more arrowheads. We can make a new axe. At the very least, again, hopefully we can sharpen our axe by the time we leave Desolation Point and then head back towards Forlorn Muskeg, Bleak Inlet, and beyond. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If you're not new here, look for the join button for access to channel unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes drop every day but Wednesday at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.